Thank you for tuning into this video. We're going to be talking about the home purchase process and how to make things a little bit simpler. This is the purchase process for the state of Michigan, more specifically the Metro Detroit area. The quick overview of what we're going to talk about here is how to get started in your search. If you're financing, searching for a home, submitting an offer, the home inspection, closing process, and moving day. Now I'm not going to go through and read these slides to you, but we're just going to briefly go over some things in these slides. So back a few years ago, we used to search online or drive around and call on signs and go out, look at the home, and then write an offer because there were so many loan products out there. We don't recommend doing it this way anymore just because financing regulations have tightened up so much. So what we recommend doing now is hiring a buyer's agent such as myself. We'll go through and recommend a lender that's tailored to your situation, search the MLS system itself, and then schedule several showings at once to make the best use of your time. So first things first, we need to talk about buyer agency. So if you go around and you look at a house and you call on the sign, or you look at an internet advertisement, that person you were talking to is most likely the listing agent who represents the seller. I recommend you get a buyer's agent that specifically represents you and your best interests and really works for you. So the best part is our commission is paid by the seller in most of the situations. So when I work with a buyer for the first time, I like to set up an initial meeting, and we'll go through a needs and wants housing assessment and really get an idea of what you want, where you want to be at, and from there we can search the MLS system and set up an automatic search from the MLS that will alert you as soon as a property is ready that fits your criteria. Answer any questions you have, and then determine a lender that would work well for you. So talking about financing, if you need to finance the house, I have several lenders in the area. It's real important to get pre-qualified right off. Like I said, the financing regulations have tightened up so much. You need to have a pre-approval letter in hand, so when you find that house that you want, you're ready to make an offer on the spot. All the lenders I used are local with 10 plus years of experience, complete hundreds of transactions, and really are an expert in their field. Part of my success of being a real estate agent is working with the best people, the best agents, title companies, and inspectors, and everybody in the process. So a lender, when you talk with them, briefly, they'll evaluate your credit score, your debt-to-income ratios, as well as several other factors, length of employment. We'll do a separate video just on financing eventually, so you can have a good overview on what they're going to look for. Like I mentioned before, financing regulations have changed a lot in the last couple of years, and it seems like every 6 months they're making more changes to those criteria. So when you hear people at work or family members, they may be talking about 5 or 10 years ago when things are completely different. Make sure you're using the most current information. So when you start off with your home search, the one thing that I tell people to look at is the location. It's the one thing that's difficult to change in your house. Picking up the house and moving it is pretty expensive. So that's the first thing that's most important. This may be a location like time to get to work, to school. You might want to be in a specific school district, things of that nature. The second thing is property layout. You got to look at your home as a financial investment as well. So think about when you go to sell that home too, if you think other people are going to like that layout as well. Third thing is property improvements. So you'll do a comparison from house to house, and I'll give you a comparison sheet to help you. And evaluate things as roof, windows, carpet, paint. All those things can be changed, but all those things have a dollar amount on them as well. So when we start our search, we'll go to the MLS system. Now you've heard me mention that before. What the MLS system is this is the central source of info that real estate agents in their listings in. And from there it goes out to hundreds of websites. You may know them as Trulia, Zillow, Realtor.com, Yahoo Homes. These are some of the more popular ones. The MLS system here is the source of the info. From there it goes out to all these websites. So the problem is sometimes the data may take a couple days to get out to these websites. And if it takes you a couple days to get out to the property, that might be too late. Someone else may have bought it. So I can enter your info into the MLS system itself, which will ensure that you'll get notified of the property instantly. So some of the search tools that we have, if time is a factor for you, this is a drive time calculator. So I can enter in, what time of day and how far away you want to be from a central source. And based on the speed limits and the time of day, rush hour, things of that nature, it'll tell you how far out you can go for your, to find a house. So searching the MLS system itself, this is kind of a display of the MLS system, and you can there's several tools within the MLS system that can help you as well that no other websites have. Some of those tools are school district. So if that's an important factor for you, you can have a map overlay within the MLS system that'll show the school district boundaries. It will even do an overlay that'll show you individual elementary, middle schools, and high school boundaries as well. One of the things that helps you keep organized is the ability to mark these properties as favorite, possibility, or delete properties that you absolutely don't want, and it'll show them both on the map, and then you can look at them individually. I've actually made a whole different video just using the MLS to help you utilize these features that will help you out, and that video will be posted at the end of this video. So moving along here, once you find some properties that you like on the MLS system, you generally just email me those properties or mark them as favorite, and from there we can go out and preview them in a systematic order that makes best use of your time. And I can even give you a house rating sheet so you can evaluate the expensive items in the house, and then you can write down likes or concerns. Sometimes if you're seeing 7 or 8 properties at once, it may be difficult to keep them straight, and then you can rank these, highest to lowest, what you like, what you don't like. And from there, once you find your house, it's time to write an offer. Now when we're ready to make an offer, I'll go ahead and get some more documentation on the house. I'll pull up public records on the house. I'll order a seller's disclosure statement, which will indicate from the seller their knowledge of anything wrong with the house. Then we'll go through and analyze the last year of sales of the property in the area, so you can kind of get an idea of what price you want to offer. And then we'll go through the offer documentation. And the key points are price, inspection contingency, other contingencies. The seller may need some time to move out. They may need some occupancy. And then we'll kind of estimate a closing date so everyone can kind of start planning around that date. And then I'll go ahead and submit your offer to the listing office and follow up with it. Now once your offer is accepted, I highly recommend you get a home inspection. I can recommend a qualified inspector to you. This is something they do day in, day out, several times a day. They have a systematic process to go through every system in the house and evaluate it, and give you a formal report and walk through it with you and let you know what's wrong with the property. Now keep in mind, there's going to be something with every property. What you're looking for is just the repair items that have to be addressed every month or every year, every couple years. That's common. Every house is going to have those items. What you're concerned with is any items that are major that need to be fixed right now, that is an actual problem. Maybe it's a cracked basement. Maybe it's the furnace is going out in a couple months. He'll kind of give you an estimated time frame on some of these items, or maybe there's a leak in the roof. Those are the issues that need to be addressed, and from there we can decide, okay, do we want the seller to fix these items? Do you want to fix these items yourself after closing? And we'll go from there. So if you're financing a house, the bulk of the process is over for you, and now it's kind of handed off to the lender. So once it's handed off to the lender, they're going to do 2 things. One is order the appraisal. The second is order the title insurance. The appraisal will ensure to the lender that the home is of value. And the title insurance is for them and for you to ensure that there are no other liens on the property or assessments or contractor liens, or a variety of things the title insurance searches for. And they'll give you a copy of this title insurance policy at closing. There's 2 things you need to do during this closing process. One is to make sure to save any updated bank statements and pay stubs that you may have. You need to get those to the lender right away during this process. And also start shopping for homeowners insurance on the property. Now the whole closing process here, if you're not financing, you can just go ahead and order title insurance and proceed to closing. Majority of the people do finance. Typically after your home inspection, you're looking about 2 to 3 weeks out from there. Once that appraisal is actually handed into the lender and they approve it, 2 weeks is fairly common. Now these are just time frames, but these are very realistic time frames if you use one of the lenders that I recommend to you, because we know how each other works and this is realistic. Now once you get a clear to close, you bring a photo ID with you and expect to sign paperwork for 30 to 45 minutes. Half of that's going to be real estate documents, the other half's going to be your mortgage documents. And from there, congratulations, you've bought a house. So it could be a house, a condo, a lakefront property, a new construction project. I can help you with any of those items. After closing, there are 2 documents that you need to file. One's a property transfer affidavit, and the second is a homestead exemption sheet that ensures that you get a cheaper tax rate if this is your primary residence. So keep in mind that I'm here to help you even after closing. Give me a call. I have recommended lists of contractors if you want things done, such as roof, windows, kitchen. I have a revolving list of people that I always use, and I'm happy to recommend those people to you. Again, thank you for your business. I appreciate any referrals that you may have for me. I'm always interested in how a house turns out, so keep in touch. Again, this is just a quick overview. Make sure to subscribe to this video, as I'm going to be adding more videos in the future, not only on the purchase process and selling process, but ways for you to save money in your house and things of that nature. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave those either on my YouTube page or contact me directly by email or phone. Thank you and have a great day.